most of the time when you think of clematis, or some people say clematis, it is a climbing plant that you have climbing up an arbor or over your garden gate or something like that. This one is for in the ground, along borders, and as a ground cover. So it's called the Sapphire Indigo, and that is exactly the color, this gorgeous purpley blue.
Perfect description of it.
So pretty, and 3 payments of $871. Now this is another limited quantity plant because we've had it on the air already as we started our season at the end of January, and it's been very popular. We only have 700 left to go around for the season. So this is one that folks might not be as familiar with.
Right, we have offered this before at Cottage Farms, and it's one of those things we bring back from time to time because it is just such a great plant. And you get a great plant in the box. Look at this. This is actually even, I think, a little bit bigger than what we've offered it as in the past, because it's so important for clematis to get off to a good start. You know, this is an investment kind of plant. In the first year, it's going to be a little sleepy. You're going to plant it, you're going to be like, what is going on? Where is this thing going to go? But by year 2 and certainly year 3, you are going to come to expect what we're representing in front of us here today, Carolyn, as just this tapestry of color that makes a great skirt for things like roses and other shrubs.
So these do get some height. They're not flat to the ground.
That's right. They'll scramble.
You're not going to walk around on these.
No, right, exactly. They'll scramble up a little, you know, the cane of a rose or a stem of another shrub.
So maybe a couple of feet off the ground.
Yeah, at most, not very tall.
And then they will spread out about what? About 3 feet?
Yeah, 3 to 4 feet even. I mean, they just kind of have a way of draping themselves. I always just think of this as like a skirt for roses. Clematis and roses, for that matter. I think I was telling you, as the show started, on my card I have clematis plus roses equals a little heart because it's like coffee and chocolate. I mean, they're just sort of made for each other.
Well, and you know what's funny, Kelly, is that I have 2 sort of Nantucket arbor gates on the back of either end of my backyard. And on one half of each one, I have clematis climbing, and the other half climbing roses.
Perfect.
And they kind of intertwine.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but now I'm thinking with this, because I've never planted a ground cover clematis, and I'm thinking this would be great along my hedge roses.
Absolutely,
like mixed in there with those guys.
You know, we love roses. Everybody loves roses. That's great. But you know, roses sometimes have a very definitive season that they kind of do their stuff, and then they're kind of just there for the rest of the season. So why not accessorize all of those great roses that you already love and grow in your garden with this beautiful Sapphire Indigo Groundcover Clematis that really, again, just finds its way up and around and between other things. Now, you can grow this in the open perennial border, just like we're showing with other flowers around it. I mean, it grows in a kind of, you know, kind of sprawling, mounded fashion, just this sort of beautiful blue profusion of flowers, even as a specimen, as shown there, kind of at the end of a border, maybe a corner as you're making your way around a garden bed, and there's this puddle of sapphire indigo blue flowers. It's really hard to beat that. Of course, this is full sun, and it's really important too, you know, that clematis they like cool roots, right? So that's why they like to sort of, you know, maybe kind of tuck in under something, because
so they are not in the super hot soil.
Right. So that morning sun you were talking about in your garden earlier, perfect place for Clematis Sapphire Indigo.
Now, these are not going to accidentally grow real tall, right?
No, that's right.
So if you try to make them into a climber, they're only going to go up about 3 feet high.
They wouldn't get super tall. So that's the nice thing too. I've seen these in a lot of gardens where maybe, like you were describing, they're at the base of a gate post or something, and they kind of scramble around something and then maybe up the gate.
Like if you had a picket fence.
Like a picket, right, absolutely.
They would climb up to almost as tall, well, depending on the higher, like a 3-foot fence.
Right.
They're going to climb up and cover most of that fence, but they're not going to climb up a wall.
Well, and I want to come back to what people are getting too. This is such a handsome plant that's going to arrive in the box, of course, at the right time for planting from Cottage Farms. You're just reserving plants today, ultimately. But you know, we really want to make sure you get off to a good start, and it's important when you take these out of the box to really get these clematis planted as soon as possible. Get them growing. We're going to send them to you at the right time for planting. There's no need to really wait on them. Go ahead and get them in the ground, get them off to the races, maybe fire them off with a shot of that bud and bloom booster we talk so much about here, and really, you know, get them in the ground and get that first full growing season under them, because it's really going to be in the 2nd or 3rd year that you're going to come to see this show that we've been showing in the images.
Now, Kelly, let me ask you this too. When in the winter, will these get sort of just like mounds of brown stems? Like, because I know my climbers, I never pull them down off the arbor because the new flowers grow on the brown stems
That's
that,
right.
that were there all winter.
Right.
Was
There's
same
always,
thing happen here?
No, that's a little bit different here. So
Okay.
that's, clematis, there's the kind of 3 different groups, right? It's like, when
Okay.
do I prune them? What do I do with them? This is one of the easiest ones
Okay.
because they come basically back from the ground every year,
Okay.
or really right from the bottom few buds on the
Okay.
stem. So
Great.
you'll be able to cut this back in the spring.
Okay.
Like when you're cutting back other perennials, to a point that you just look, just kind of get down there on your hands and knees and take a look and see where the little green shoots are coming up.
Okay.
And above that point, you can whack them off and get them tidied up for
Love
the
it.
spring.
I love the color. It's just stunning. It really is the most
love our
gorgeous
blues here.
bluey purple. I mean,
We
seriously.
love our blues. Well, and you think about roses, you think about agapanthus, you think about clematis, you think about some of these great plants we've had in the show today.
Yeah.
Suddenly, right there, you've got the rose maybe already. You pick up one of the agapanthus over there to kind of keep that blue going all the way through the
Yeah.
summer. You enjoy this blue of the Sapphire Indigo Groundcover
Right.
Clematis.
I love that.
First thing in the summer, maybe those first few weeks of summer, and suddenly you have this really rich, colorful vignette of your garden already planned in 3
So
plants.
beautiful. And I know these will attract butterflies because they're the right color. And also, I've seen hummingbirds flying around my climbing ones. So I'm assuming they'll love these
well,
as
yeah,
well.
and again, this, just so we make clear, this is a variety that is going to spend most of its life kind of as a skirt to other
Yes,
shrubs and perennials.
exactly.
If you give it a little height to go up, it'll climb the fence, maybe scramble over the gate just a little bit. But this is principally, this ground cover mat, this beautiful blue flowered tapestry in the Sapphire Indigo Groundcover
So
Clematis.
pretty. All right, so only 500 left to go around now for the season. It is a very popular choice, and 3 payments of $871 for our Sapphire Indigo Groundcover Clematis.
That's right.
And just a quick reminder, on QVC.com, you can type in your zip code whenever you'd like, and we will show